Hello, my name's Kate Darbishire and I'm the author of Speechless. And I thought I would just hop onto the computer and record a quick video to tell you why I think it's a very good book to use in schools and for book clubs. First of all, I want to tell you about something that happened to me when I was about 27. I had a baby. That's not very surprising. Lots of 27-year-olds do that. It basically changed my life forever. She was born, to me, she was absolutely perfect. The paediatricians kicked up a big fuss because she had a huge birthmark on her face. But to me, I was just, it's just a sign of how beautiful she is. It didn't worry me at all. But as time went by, there were a few anomalies. So she didn't cry at all. I struggled to feed her. She'd just fall asleep. And then as time went on, she wasn't using her left hand. So eventually we went to the doctor and they ran some tests and told us that she had cerebral palsy. I was absolutely devastated. Literally, I cried for days. And then one day, outside my house, I bumped into this lady. Her name's Bev, and she has thalidomide, or she's been affected by the thalidomide drug. She had hands and feet, but really no arms and legs. She used a wheelchair. She was an amazing woman because she held down a full-time job. She drove herself to work. I mean, she was absolutely incredible. And she asked me how Katie was, and I told her, and I just burst into tears. And she got cross with me. She said, "Stop crying right now. Look at her." She said, "This is Katie's life. It's special to her. And who are you to take that away from her? She's no different because of a silly label." And it kind of shut me up. You can imagine there's this lady who is actually in many ways a lot more disabled than my own daughter was potentially likely to be. And she was telling me that I absolutely had to let Katie live her own life. So that, when it came to writing my book, it seemed suddenly obvious to me that my main character was going to have cerebral palsy. And I started looking back to what I was like when I was 11, and I wasn't having a very good time at school. People would pick on me. They said I spoke too posh. They just made fun of me. They laughed at me because there were too many. I had too many brothers and sisters. I mean, that's, I guess, sometimes, sadly, what kids are like. And I thought, well, if they were laughing at me, how would the kids be towards Harriet? And I decided they would be potentially a lot worse. And that would be her big problem, was that, so when people were mean to me, I kind of retreated and I didn't engage with people, and I didn't kind of step out of my comfort zone to try and make friends. And I thought, well, that's how Harriet would be. That's how this child in my story was going to be. She has speech, but she doesn't use what she has because she doesn't like the sound of her own voice and she doesn't want to get laughed at. So that's her kind of big obstacle to overcome. And then when I was thinking about what I was like as a child and how I felt about other people who had disabilities or special needs, I kind of realized I was really nervous around them, or even hearing about them, it made me feel sad and worried. And I thought, well, that's very likely how other people feel if they haven't had experience of people with special needs. And so this is where I want to tell you about a central relationship in the story, which is between Harriet and her grandmother, Gloria. There are lots of reasons why Gloria is based on what I think I would have been like if I hadn't had experience of disability. So she probably loves Harriet, but at the very beginning, she's quite nervous about her, nervous around her. She doesn't know how to react around her, and yet she's been tasked with the job of looking after Harriet when Harriet's mum goes into hospital. And so all of a sudden she has to really get in there and learn about Harriet. And this, I think, is one of the reasons why the story really appeals to people, to kids, to 10, 11-year-olds, all the way up. I've had letters and emails from people in their 70s, 80s, 90s telling me how much they have enjoyed reading the story and how much they feel like they have got to understand themselves and Harriet, so, and an example of somebody who has disabilities. So I think there is a lot to kind of find in the book. And if you're interested in finding out more about Speechless, pop along to my website, which is katedarbishire.com, and come and find me and come and see what I've got going on the website. There's lots of activities for children around the whole business of writing, as well as around, you know, how do you approach somebody who has disabilities. Anyway, I hope to find you on my website. Send me a message and say hi, and I'd love to hear from you. Bye.